Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Monday, June 13th, 2016. We're back, Raw 217 in the Lynn-Life, Luce 18 in the Jamie Body Mind. Other teammates are in other dimensions, all of us subatomic to someone, and we believe that many of us are in the physical. We are working with our new understanding of what our assignment actually is, which is to manifest the divine plan for the smaller subatomic. With that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin. And someone is asking me, and why have we changed the definition? First, I don't think that it was us who changed the definition of the assignment. I believe the assignment is adjusting to reflect the reality that we can't make anybody do anything. That's how life is. All any of us can do is control our own attitudes and therefore actions. That's the best we can hope to do.
That's true.
We can't get anybody to do anything that they don't want to do. And what has the experiment shown? The experiment has shown that presences in larger dimensions don't seem to want to help manifest a divine plan at the level of Earth and its environs, and that's okay. There isn't anything we can do about that, but this team can turn its attention into the worlds within worlds that are subatomic to Earth and its environs, because we do have willing vessels here who are interested in manifesting a divine plan for those who are smaller than themselves.
That's true.
So quite clearly, from here on down, there's an awful lot possible that doesn't require anybody else's participation. And so we're not going to get hung up on what we can't do. We're going to focus on what we can do. And what we can do is manifest a divine plan for the smaller subatomic. And maybe, just maybe, that will change enough of the foundations of life that it will help somebody up above wake up, and that somebody will want to participate in a process of turning around and helping smaller presences, and maybe not. That isn't for us to decide. Does that answer the question? Oh, well, that person's got a grumpy, bad attitude.
That's what that feeling is, a really grumpy, bad attitude.
All right. Pump up the lies from the smaller subatomic.
That's
whatever.
True.
That guy's a loser. Let's not get hung up on that presence.
There's a bunch of stuff bubbling up from below.
Let's clear it. And I see that room where Luce 1, who we've been calling our Luce, but in an effort to be more clear, we're now calling Luce 1.
That's true.
I see where he's making presentations, and we can deliver this boatload of goo up to him.
That's true.
All right, let's clear all aspects of us that are like all the disgusting messages we've been getting lately.
That's
we
true.
can see it in other people. We can see it in realtors. We can see it in clients. We can see it in other humanoid presences we have interaction with. We can see it in other non-physical presences we have interaction with.
That's true.
Let's not hold ourselves separate. Let's go with the odds and say we too have these dysfunctional patterns.
That's true.
And clear them. Somebody's asking me why I came back, and they're kind of grumpy.
That's true.
But it's a valid question. And the best way I would answer it is to refer to something that's in the library many, many years ago, when the Lynn-Life went to her very first Buddhist weekend retreat. She found it extremely challenging to the point that she really wanted to walk out, and found herself stymied multiple times. No way to get out of here without looking like a total loser.
That's true.
So she hung on till the end, just getting through by saying, I am never going to do this again.
That's true.
And then she came back to her daily life and discovered that it had improved so much because of that retreat that she decided to do it again.
That's true.
And again, and again, and again. She went on many, many retreats. And I've had that same experience. We were here participating in this search for truth effort, this project to manifest the divine plan for the smaller subatomic. And it was excruciatingly difficult and unpleasant, and I left.
That's
and then I got back to my normal life, quote unquote, my normal experience of sentience.
That's true.
And discovered that it had gotten so much better because I had made some progress in letting go of denying inconvenient realities. So instead of arguing tooth and nail with life, I'm just arguing nail with life.
That's true.
And that makes a big difference. So I think that I would like to learn how to not argue with life at all.
That's true. I would like more of that good thing.
More of that extremely difficult thing.
That's true.
Thank you. So we've come back, and this time we hope to do it better.
A lot better. That's true.
Does that answer the question? That person is so grumpy.
So grumpy.
Why are we listening to that person? Let's just pump up the stuff and start to bifurcate. All of us who actually want to be part of manifesting the divine plan for the smaller subatomic, all of us come to the Search for Truth central axis, and all others go away, go elsewhere, go anywhere else.
That's quieter now.
Much quieter. Someone else now is asking me, and what was that person looking for? Well, why don't you ask that person? It would be the first thing I would say.
That's true.
And the second thing I would say is, from this seat, it looked like that person looked like he was looking for someone to agree with him on his particular stance, his position,
true.
And he thought that maybe I would agree with him.
That's
and
true.
what I said didn't line up with his own position, so now he's grumpier instead of less grumpy. And so I would say to him, friend, you're still arguing tooth and nail with life, and I know how that is. I felt the same way, but what I've found is that it actually doesn't work. And what works a lot better is to let go of our struggles with life and to acknowledge inconvenient realities as they occur, and to come to grips with it, is that, well, this is real, and I don't have to like it for it to still be real. My story is that it got really quiet as soon as that answer was on the table.
That's true.
Just could hear a pin drop. What was that about? I can't tell.
Keep pumping.
It was noticeable, though.
That's true.
And it is still quiet. I like that.
Very, very quiet.
That's an improvement.
That's true.
Let's just pump up whatever that was, find it in ourselves, whatever that resistance was, that wishing to deny reality feeling, and just draw it up. We've got it. We're still fighting tooth with reality, just not tooth and nail. It's an interesting expression.
That's true.
We're fighting the one that's harder to let go of. We're still
true.
fighting the fights that are harder to admit we're wrong about.
That feels true. Whichever one that is.
Either tooth or nail.
That's true.
Well, what do I know? In kindergarten, kids get in trouble if they bite another student or if they scratch another student. That would be
true.
tooth and nail. I think biting is worse than scratching.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that kids bite when they feel most desperate, not least desperate.
That's true.
So probably we're still biting, we're still fighting tooth with reality. We're still struggling to hold on to the things that hurt the most when we let go of them.
That's true.
Just like everybody else. Fighting with reality at whatever level we're fighting with reality doesn't work, so let's bump it up. Find it in ourselves, that intention to fight with reality, that defensiveness, that anger, and pump it up. For not just ourselves, but for the smaller subatomic. Turn around and help someone. Get this out of their worlds so that they can live lives that aren't hindered by this disgustingness that we ourselves are creating for the smaller subatomic that resides inside of us.
That's true.
Somebody's putting the highlight on the example that was used sometime recently about blood transfusions and
That's true.
how we don't want to think about what we're doing there. But what we're doing is no better than slave trading, really. We're, with no warning, poking a needle through a vein where they're just living their happy little blood cell lives, and we start sucking out whoever's passing by the needle at the time without regard to families of origin and whether or not, maybe we just picked up a class field trip and all their parents are going to be wondering, where's Johnny?
That's true.
We don't want to acknowledge that there are worlds within worlds and that they're living lives that are equally full and vibrant, but that doesn't make that reality go away. And when we really start to grasp it, then we start to see that life is extremely complex and nothing is simple. And now what?
Now what?
What now, in order to manifest the divine plan for the smaller subatomic? What now? Well, that's a way to clear a room. It is quiet as quiet can be. Very peaceful. And what do I know? I know that it's really easy from the smaller subatomic looking up, because we know that we are living vibrant full lives and that those presences are denying that. We can see the disconnect when we look up. All of us can. Every single one of us can, I think. Every single one of us who has the ability to work interdimensionally can see that those presences are bigoted with regard to the presences at our dimension of operations.
That's true.
The trick is for us to then, while looking up, ask to be shown what's going on in the smaller subatomic, and then realize that they too are living vibrant, rich lives that have value potentially greater than our own, and that we need to consider that in our own decision-making process.
That's true.
Now it gets complicated. What now, in order to manifest the divine plan for the smaller subatomic? What now? Let's call up those children from the smaller subatomic to move through us, not to us, and head for Luce 1, where he's giving those presentations. Head for that room, and then when you get there, kids, start asking your questions. And ask the questions of Luce's audience. Ask the questions of the people that he's making the presentations to. It feels like good, clean energy flow. No more blockage for the moment.
For the moment, right.
For the moment.
That's true.
Well, in the error corrections, what we see are how thin and incomplete this work is, and how we really want to check off the box as complete. I do. And I see that we've begun a process, and we've taken off just the tiniest sliver of the exterior of something that's as big as a room.
That's true.
All of the denials of the inconvenient realities that life in the smaller subatomic is real and vibrant. And the best way to prove it to ourselves is for us to look up and see how those people up there actually are existing, and see how they're denying that we are living vibrant lives, and that we have any actual legal standing or social standing, and that see how they deny that they have to take us into consideration at all.
That's true.
And then, while still looking up, become aware of those smaller than we are. And there it is. And it's no different. We're all the same. And how do we live with this awareness? What now? What now? What now in order to live this soul plan right here? What now?